I recently came back from a fantastic vacation trip from Turkey, and wow, Turkey honestly blew my mind. Understatement. Matter of fact, kind of fell in love with Turkey. So sit back, enjoy, and let's speak about the country. Do you visit Turkey? Why you should visit it? And what I truly honestly think of the country itself, and obviously the people. So I got invited by my friend, and she asked if I wanted to come with her to Turkey. Super random. I hadn't planned anything. I was actually in the time that she asked me a few weeks ago, looking on a vacation to go to Spain for myself for a couple of days. But she happened to app me, and I was like, yeah, fantastic, great. Now, I was very skeptical first because I was like, it's been a very, very, very long time since I've last been to Turkey. I think the last time that I had gone was 15 years ago. Turkey itself. Wow, really. There's just nothing else I can add except for I felt incredibly warm and welcome in Turkey. I felt extremely safe. There was not one moment that I thought I do not feel safe. I felt extremely safe, and like I said, very, very welcomed by the local people, but also the part of her family. They were so, so kind and so friendly. Most of them did not know how to speak English, so I had to translate a little bit in Turkish. Yes, I speak a little tiny, tiny bit of Turkish. I don't speak much Turkish. Also, a huge, huge thank you to Google Translate for existing, because due to using Google Translate, I also had fantastic conversations with local people and family members of my friend. But honestly, I can sit here and talk about the negatives and tell you all about, yes, the country is ruled by a dictator, yes, this and this and that. But honestly, you don't really notice that there's a dictator ruling the country. As long as you just kind of mind your business like in any other country and you do your own thing, you're honestly alright. You really are alright. You just gotta do your own thing, mind your own business, and you don't really notice it. Now, yeah, one thing I did notice because, in a lot of countries, pornography is a thing you can just access via Google, right? In Turkey, you were not able to access it. And how I know this is because I was curious. I was like, can I watch porn here? It's not finding it. I'm like, what's going on here? So I searched. I'm like, oh, banned. Yes, pornography is banned in Turkey. Yes, there are ways that you can go around, find a loophole, but I do believe that in a lot of situations, you're better off not searching those type of things, because again, it's not a very strict country by any means, because that's kind of exaggerating, but it does have certain rules that you have to obey as a tourist, but also as a citizen. But obviously, the food, man. Let's talk about the food first of all. Well, the food is fucking incredible. And for a foreign person like I that is from the Netherlands, it is very affordable. It's honestly just insane how cheap the local places were. Now, obviously, the more touristic places are more aimed at tourism. That's something we immediately spot. Like a place that is just made for tourists, you can spot by bright, colorful lights on the buildings. And often, well, actually, always pretty much, there'll be people standing outside of the restaurant just blatantly fucking harassing you, telling you to come in the restaurant. They got the best food. When next door they serve the same shit for half the price because it's local. It's those type of things, and I'm not hating on it, man. I mean, I get it. You gotta hustle to make money, but good food speaks for itself. I always say. If you have to bring in people by standing outside, then I kind of already know the food's gonna taste like shit. And in one case, the food actually did taste like shit because we went into one of those restaurants. We had a thing, and I was like, "Yeah, this is terrible. This is dry, man. This is like my mom's chicken. What am I eating?" But yeah, besides that, the food was obviously I miss it. Okay, I'll be lying to you right now if I said I don't miss it. I absolutely fucking miss the food. You don't understand, man. I have a mother that makes white people chicken. Doesn't season it and it's dry. And when you eat that and you go to a country where they serve juicy chicken with God knows what shit they put on it seasoning wise, you're like, oh my lord, this is amazing. So the day that I had to leave to Turkey, I was like, yeah, I can't wait to go back to what my mom makes. Obviously, majority of the days I make my own food, but sometimes I eat at my parents, and Yeah, let's just say it's often a miss than a hit. But besides that, food was fantastic. Now, fun fact, I didn't know this. I didn't do any research on what type of food chains there were. They got Arby's in Turkey. I didn't try Arby's because I'm not really a fan of sandwiches with like that type of vajayjay meat. I don't know what it's called. Um, they had Popeyes. Popeyes was insane. Good lord. I cannot describe it to you, but it was fantastic. The best fried chicken I've ever had. And you gotta understand, we don't have Popeyes in the Netherlands. So some of you may say, oh, but this is better than Popeyes. Yeah, maybe for you. We don't fucking have whatever it is you think is better. We don't have many American food chains. We've got BK, we've got Subway, we've got KFC, we've got... Well, that's kind of about it. Yeah, McDonald's, but that's literally it. Even in Amsterdam, you don't have a Arby's or Popeyes. Not even a Raising Cane's. And we were in Ankara the last day, and we had happened to spot a Raising Cane. I was like, oh, no fucking way, they got a Raising Cane here? No way, OMG. And then we looked at the line, and we were like, oh my god, the entire restaurant is full of people, and there's this massive queue waiting outside. I'm like, god damn it, I'd love to try this for a video. The fuck I look like waiting an hour plus in line for some goddamn chicken. Got me messed up, so we tried Popeyes. And it was so cheap. Bro, like I said, for us foreigners, it's just crazy how cheap things are. Now, if you live in Turkey as a Turkish person, a lot of them don't make a lot of money. But for me, if I'd make 1,000 a month, I could live there so comfortable. Honestly, with just $1,000 a month, you can live pretty comfortable. Now, be careful because the money goes quicker than you think it does. Yes, there was like a day that I had like $300 cash, and I'm like, oh fuck, my money's gone. Did I buy this much in a day and a half? Yeah, the money goes quicker than you think. Like if you draw €500 cash, it's like a big stack, and it won't close in your wallet. It looks like a lot, but it's just €500 converted into Turkish lira. I think it's about 5,000. No, what am I saying? €500 is about 16,000 Turkish lira. Yeah, like it's a big ass stack of money, bro. And it's at the end of the day, it's only €500. Like €500 here is 1050 notes. A handful. It's not even a handful. It's so tiny. But yeah, like the money comparison is fantastic. But also, yes, I want to talk about the fact that the country is very, very big. It's honestly a pain in the ass, man. I don't like the fact that it's so big. Driving takes forever. It's like fucking America, bro. You want to get to the one place to the other, it's going to take you hours, sometimes even a day. Turkey is absolutely gigantic, and it has so many beautiful places to offer. I feel like the only reason that you'd ever book a 5-star hotel resort in Turkey is if you've never been there yourself, you don't speak the language, or you don't have any family living there. But for the rest, if you know a little bit of basic Turkish, you have people living there that you know, you should really, really visit local places. And because, like I said, it's a very safe country. Like, I didn't feel unsafe one time wherever I went. Because you know why? I also behaved myself. You have to understand, it's an Islamic country. Majority of people are Muslim. They have a certain lifestyle. They have, their God, Allah. It's a certain lifestyle a lot of Muslims obey. You cannot go to a country and be a dickhead. You have to respect the different culture and different ways of thinking. So when I hear people say, I would never go to this country, this and that, is that because of the fact that you cannot behave yourself as a tourist? Or is that simply because you're judging people based off what you hear in the social media? Because I'll be very honest, I was skeptical about Turkey first because, we see all the indoctrination on the news nowadays about, this and this and that. Then a certain minority gets put in the news as negative. But then you visit a country and it's like, that's bullshit. It's like 0.01% fucking enough for the rest. These are hardworking people, bro. And when I say hardworking people, hustling to get money, whatever, even selling bricks. I'm not talking about selling bricks as in drugs. I'm talking about, this is not a joke. You've got fucking people selling literal bricks on the side of the highway to tourists, and people buy it. I'm like, do these people not realize these are regular ass bricks that you just get from the highway? People think these are special bricks. They're just bricks. But, it's like I cannot hate on someone trying to hustle, man. I used to do it as a kid as well. I used to hustle to get money in any form of way. You gotta hustle. Some sell drugs, some sell bricks, some sell handcrafted items. And that's another thing I want to talk about, right? Is the partying. Again, you have to realize and understand this is a Muslim country, right? In the culture, it's a thing that you marry one person for the rest of your life, right? At a preferably young age. Yes, obviously partying still exists in the big cities like Istanbul, Cappadocia, Ankara, but it's not the kind of party that you're thinking of, that you get absolutely wasted, you take someone back to your hotel and you smash them one night stand. Obviously, yes, there will be some people that will do that, Muslim or non-Muslim. Yes, there are some that do that, which is haram, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. Drinking alcohol is, by the way, frowned upon in Turkey or in Islamic countries. It's seen as disgusting. Yet the funny thing is, almost everyone smokes in Turkey. Like, I don't understand, but I also understand at the same time because, well, you got kids that are 11, 12-year-olds smoking cigarettes, but then you look at what they're doing and it's like, yeah, I understand. These kids are probably working 6 days a week, go to school 5 days a week. It's a stressful life. A lot of people smoke because it's super duper stressful, but back to the partying, yes, obviously you can party. It's just, however, it's not the type of parties that you think of. We wanted to go out once or twice, but we had done so much in the past couple of days that we fell asleep at 9 o'clock and we woke up at 4. We were like, yeah, let's go back to bed. But also, we both don't really know the language that good. And as a tourist, you have to obviously be careful that you don't get scammed by clubs. You don't know a bit of the basic, like merhaba or whatever, you'll get likely scammed. There was one club we wanted to go to in Cappadocia. 30-euro entrance. I'm like, whoa, I ain't paying $30 for entry. Good lord, you're mad or something. A lot of places, they live off of tourism. Cappadocia, for instance, is a fantastic place. In the summer, you can easily pay up €400 per person to go into one of those hot balloons. In the winter, $50. And people are actually fucking stupid enough to pay nearly $500 to go in the air. I can go to Dubai for a whole goddamn week with that money. Like, what? It's just, I guess, what you want. But the experience overall was fantastic. And, back to the dictator ruling, yes, there is a dictator. But again, if you just mind your business and live life, you don't really notice it. Unless you go on social media. It's fantastic and great that you can access Instagram. You can access Snapchat. You can access YouTube. If it wasn't for that, I would have never visited Turkey, because there is no way that I am visiting a country where I have absolutely no freedom at all. It's not like China, where you can do absolutely fuck all. No YouTube, no WhatsApp, no nothing. That's heavy, and pretty much, yeah, that's kind of about it. And I also have to say, the infrastructure was, to my surprise, actually very, very good. Really good. Big country requires very good infrastructure. The highways were fantastic. Like, they were almost brand new. It made me think, god damn, this country is 50 times the size of Belgium, yet Belgium has shittier roads wherever I go. No joke. The roads were fantastic in Turkey. Even in the city, the roads were really not that bad. You had your occasional little pothole, but that was kind of about it. But I was so surprised to see the roads so good. And the roads are wide. I love that. 4, 5, 6 lanes. Fantastic. Lane switching, bro. Overtaking from right, middle. It was crazy. And if you pop me the question, yes, Turkey in a lot of places is stuck in the past. You will notice that as well when you drive. You'll notice a lot of abandoned places as well, abandoned villages. And that is due to the fact that, well, a lot of youngsters are in these smaller villages, right? And, well, the truth is not every youngster wants to live until they're 70 doing manual labor. Because, A, it pays really bad. Second of all, it's very hard work. And not everyone wants to do that work. So what you'll see in a lot of these smaller villages is there's no young people. They've all left and gone to the big city like Istanbul to go to university, Ankara to go to university, Cappadocia, I don't know if it's go to university, but it's one of the cities I went to. You notice that a lot of youngsters leave the smaller towns to pursue a career, and I think that is fantastic. Don't get it underestimated. Turkey, their hospitals are also very modernized. There's a lot of modern things in Turkey people don't know about, but it's no different than another country. Turkey is very comparable to America, in my opinion, when you look at infrastructure, the life that you can live, minus the fact that, well, it's an Islamic country. That's not a negative thing, by the way, I'm saying. There is a difference, yes. But I loved it. Honestly, matter of fact, I want to go back as soon as possible. And let's talk about the gold. Gold is so cheap there. What are we on about, people? I mean, just the fact that you can go to Turkey and buy gold, honestly, that's one reason to already go, because the gold prices are just fucking insane there. And if you pop me the question if I'd ever live in Turkey, I could 100% see myself living in there, without a doubt. But it would have to be in the middle of nowhere, because I am not a big fan of cities. For me, it's too busy personally. It's quite a hectic life. But there's a lot of countryside, and we saw that as well driving on the highway, is the amount of countryside houses. I mean, up on the mountains, and we're not talking about small houses. These are big ass houses. And we also spoke to an American woman living there who was married to this Turkish guy. He was our ATV tour guy. He was a great guy. He introduced us to his wife, which was very, very kind of him, and amazing. And she told me the entire story. I was like, what made you want to move to Turkey? Just the culture, the weather, obviously, and the fact that, well, it's not America. I'm like, damn, a lot of Americans think the same about America, which is bizarre. I really wish I had that on camera, but it was such a special moment for me that I was like, not everything has to be put on the camera, because this man introduced us to his wife. Said, hey, this is my wife. Oh, great to meet you. And it was fantastic having someone being able to speak English. That's one thing I will have to tell you. Not everyone knows basic English, but then yet again, you're in a country where majority of people are Turkish. You're gonna just unfortunately have to adapt to their culture and way of thinking. And please forget all that shit you see on social media about this and this and that. Because like I said, right, social media only shows the negatives. But majority of people in Islam are very peaceful. It is the 0.01%. It's like saying all white people are racist or all black people eat chicken. Bullshit. It's a stereotype. It's a judging a culture without actually getting to know. You get to know the people themselves, they're fantastic. Hard-working people. So yes, I would heavily suggest you going to Turkey. It's a phenomenal country. The weather is great. I mean, winter, but it was 20 degrees. How the fuck is that even considered a winter? That's fantastic. That's summer for us, pretty much. Like, what? Even now, it's like not even 15 degrees in the Netherlands. I'm so jealous of that weather they have in Turkey. One thing I will also have to say quickly before end it is, Turkey does have a very big problem when it comes to stray dogs and stray cats. As a pet owner myself, I have to say, in a lot of situations, it was sickening to see and sad to see what I saw. I did see the occasional diseased cat or dog on the highway, on the side of the highway. Yes, that was very unfortunate to see, and it wasn't nice to see at all. Even if you don't have a pet or like pets, it's still a life, that's taken away. They have a very big problem in Turkey with the stray dogs and stray cats, and a lot of them are also wild, A lot of them are also very aggressive. We were fortunate enough that we got out of a potential dangerous situation with two dogs at the middle of night in Cappadocia, because we had a scooter. If we did not have a vehicle, I don't know what could have happened in that situation. But yes, a lot of stray dogs and stray cats. But positive thing is, a lot of them also get taken care of by the local people. So that is a nice thing to look at. So anyways, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of it, and let me know what your experience has been if you've ever been to Turkey, or if you would ever go to Turkey. I'm going back again. I'm probably going back in this summer, maybe even earlier, maybe to buy in some gold or just explore more of the country. And if you go there, 2 weeks minimum. That's what we did. We did 14, 15 days minimum, because of the fact that, well, yeah, you can do a week in Turkey, but you're going to be absolutely bored after 3 days being in a city. Because everywhere you go, you have to take a car. Yes, public transportation does exist, but it's not as good and it's super crowded. So if you're going to go in Turkey, get a car and just travel. Just travel, man. It's a lot of fun. Yes, it's a lot of driving, but it's chill driving once you get on the highway. Anyways, really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Adios.